Hello again, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. These are my green pets. My orchid collection growing in my apartment in a big tent. And we are 3 weeks into dry season. So let's have a look at what's going on with everything. Bulbophyllum, echinolabium got repotted a couple weeks ago, and I'm going real light on the water. I noticed that when I repotted it, it didn't have many roots, so I'm not watering. I'm watering every few days, and hopefully he'll start putting out new roots, new growth soon. Bulbophyllum catenulatum has a bloom open this morning. It's got a couple more coming. There's one growing out the side there of the basket. Kind of funny. It's a cute little guy. Next to that we have Bulbo medusae. Bulbo medusae's got two new growths coming out. 1, 2. And they look like they might be pretty normal sized. This summer's growths were kind of small, but the new ones look like they're going to be decent size. I don't know if I'm going to get any flowers out of this plant this year, but glad to see it growing. Bulbs plump, lots of roots. One of my divisions of Bulbo Lovely Elizabeth that sold this summer has bloomed for the person that bought it, and they posted it on our local orchid page, and that was super nice. Whenever I get pictures, whenever I sell off divisions and people send pictures of me blooming, the plant blooming, it just makes me very happy. So you can see it's the new bulb. The leaf is a little shorter, but it's fatter, and the bulb on the new leaf is nice. So good roots there, and I think that we'll get at least one flower spike next fall, but hopefully we'll get at least 1 or 2 new growths this next growing season. Right behind it we have Bulbo rufinum, and this plant was growing in the same pot as the Bulbo echinolabium, but I moved it to its own little pot, and I've got it just in bark this time, and I'm watering it every few days, letting it dry out between waterings. There were just some new roots starting to poke out when I repotted it, and this plant I've always had trouble getting it to form decent roots. They're very long and thin and hair-like, very, very thin roots, and I'm not sure if there's some special conditions they need to thrive. I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure, so I'm just kind of going light on the water, and hopefully they'll find a happy spot in that pot. RLC Jessie Lee's in bloom here. I took this plant to our Orchid Society meeting last week, and it looks like she's starting to fade, at least up here in the tips of the petals. The flower is still pretty solid, still smells good. Really happy with the size of the new growths on this Cattleya maxima. Bigger than last year, and I can start to see the new sheath at the base of that new leaf coming out there. That's awesome. This is a Cattleyas that, for me at least, the past couple years, it waits before it blooms, so it'll put up a sheath. And last year it was done with its growths, and the sheaths were sitting there from probably December to August, about 8 months, until they finally started pushing out and blooming. But very happy where this plant is growing. I haven't done updates on it in a long time, but this Phalaenopsis schilleriana is still alive, and I started treating it with Inocucor, just spraying it, and actually soaked it in the Inocucor and spray it at least once every couple weeks with it. And if you'll notice, the newest leaf is bigger than the last leaf, which is a huge step forward. So I didn't really have much hope for this plant, but now I'm starting to get my hopes up again that maybe the Inocucor, it's a plant probiotic. It's got yeast, it's got bacteria, and apparently those yeast and bacteria, they compete with pathogenic bacteria or fungi. That's the theory anyway. So who knows? I've heard of people being able to stop rot and everything by just soaking in Inocucor. So, or just any plant probiotic with the right stuff in it. So I'm hopeful. Now let's look at the catasetums. I am really impressed with Mormodia Jumbo World this year. First of all, with the way that it is losing its leaves, look how just paper thin the leaves are as they drain all the nutrients back into the bulb. I don't think I've ever had them go so slowly before. And what I really love is when I look at the leaf, there are just no imperfections. Not a single spider mite this year. I mean, really, really love it. It's dropped a couple leaves this week, so it's only got what, four? Looks like 4 left. The spikes down here are looking good. Got 2 there. And I think the highest awarded plant is from Fred Clark, and it has an 83 point, and I think it was 44 flowers total, so on 2 spikes. So I'm hopeful. I'm not sure if I'm going to hit 44, but I think if I can get more than 40 total, then we might possibly be able to get this plant upgraded to an AM. But either way, this is going to be a really nice showing from this plant. Really excited about that. I love the way that the spikes develop. And then right in front of it is Rebecca Northen. Rebecca looks like she's going to be blooming before Jumbo World. You can see, I think I've counted 7 flowers on each spike. And those probably need a good month before they open up, but we're getting there. Really excited. Always nice to have a plant bloom the first year you get it. The other plant I got from Sunset Valley, the Cycnocase Cooperi, starting to drop its lower leaves. I am only watering maybe once a week now, but I am still watering. Hopefully it's not going to rot on me. As far as the Cattleyas go, everything looks pretty decent. There are some shriveled bulbs, but I'm not as concerned as I was. I think they just go through these phases. This particular plant, this is Cattleya, pretty shriveled up, but it is putting out this new growth, and it is dry season, so I'm not watering as much. But and also this plant, there's something about these pots. The plant's roots don't really grow out very nicely. These shorter pots with the slits at the bottom, these are the ones I get at my, big box store. The Cattleyas seem to do fine in those, but these other pots that don't have the slits and they're a little bit thinner, I don't have a single Cattleya that has nice roots growing in this type of pot. See, here's one. And one next to it. There's something about them that they don't like. So I'm definitely going to have to repot this anyway, because this is in a basket, in a pot. And I'm thinking when this new growth starts to root, that might be a good moment to tear it out and try again in a new pot. So we'll see. But I stopped watering with the water conditioner I talked to you guys about last week. Got some super advice and information from you guys, as well as a friend of mine he has his PhD in organic chemistry, and he basically said, what a lot of people here were saying, that water conditioner was taking stuff out of the water that the plants needed. So this week I bought like 5 jugs of distilled water, I'm adding my K-lite to the distilled and watering with that. And I'm hoping that is going to help the plants get back to where they needed. I did have a question. Are you going to fertilize more now to try to make up for the deficiency? In my opinion, that's not a good idea. Trying to overcompensate for deficiencies, I don't think that's good. The plants were perfectly healthy before with the low amounts of fertilizer. I don't think adding more is going to help anything. So I'm just going to go back to what I was doing. The only difference now is that I'm using distilled instead of tap. Hopefully, again, I'm thinking that's going to be better than tap. Hope so. But that is pretty much everything. Let's look at the seedlings real quick. I can't believe it's already been a year since I've had some of them. The Dowiana aurea and the Blossfeldiana seedlings and the Dowiana rosita. I've had these for a year already. Crazy. Really starting to put on some size here. Pretty exciting. Look at these guys back here. Wow. Look at this one. This is a Rex seedling that was deflasked last October. And then these are the Paraflora seedlings that I just got in May. And some of them are getting an odd leaf sticking out here and there. Have some of them start to put out one big leaf, and suddenly it's like, oh, this little compote has done really nicely. Have seen some yellowing on this leaf here, but I'm wondering if that's from that water conditioner. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna leave them, like I said, I'm gonna leave them like they are until they start to kind of climb out of their pots. Until they start putting out something like this or something like this, I'm going to leave them in their little pots all together. Oh, and then one more, this Cattleya labiata. I want to show you this seedling. This guy's newest leaf is gigantic compared to the other ones, so that is great. That's going to be nice. Love it. Love it. I've been jealous seeing all the Cattleya labiata pictures on social media. People showing off their labiatas in bloom this fall. This Cattleya trianaei, it's got a new growth on it here. And I don't know, I feel like it's getting to the point where if we're really lucky, we might actually get a flower on it next winter, possibly. This growth will put out a new leaf. This one will put out at least one new one. And I expect the next one on this one to be a full-sized one. So we might get lucky, who knows. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, people who celebrate. And take care. We'll see you next time right here in My Green Pets. I'm William Green. Bye-bye.